But wait, it gets better. It gets better because I think they're going to actually have some nice things to say about Donald Trump. Let's see.
People think it is a self-perpetuating machine. This is what I've been told in angry conversations I've had with viewers of this program. Some of you right now sitting home watching this, yelling at the television. And I think a good analog here is like Kim Kardashian. People talk about Kim Kardashian this way all the way. Like, she's famous for being famous. It's like, well, at a certain point, she is doing something.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't understand what this argument is. First of all, I don't agree with that. You don't have to be doing something to stay in the public eye. What is Snooki doing? What did Mike the Situation do to keep him? Nothing. At some point, they're doing something. Yes, she has a nice ass and big tits, and she shows naked pictures of herself on Instagram. That's what she's doing, and she's married to a popular entertainer. That's what she's doing.
Hey, don't knock the Situation.
Yeah, and I do 3 of those 4 things. By the way,
remember how people used to joke how the Hitler Channel, the History Channel became the Hitler Channel?
Yes.
MSNBC has become the Mussolini Channel.
Yes, it has become the Mussolini Channel. You're right. Instead of pointing the finger at yourself, which is the thing you should do if you're like you have integrity and you have maturity of character, you first point the finger at yourself. First. I'm not saying you don't later point the finger, but you first point the finger at yourself.
Is he using this Kim Kardashian thing as an example of how screwed up it is? Or is he saying, well, look, she's famous for doing nothing, and so is Donald Trump? Is that his point? I mean, I'm curious where he's going.
I don't know what that meant exactly. Yeah. It's like at some point they're doing... So he's saying at some point you have to give Trump credit. I think that's what he's saying for his popularity. At some point you have to give Trump credit. It's not us.
Look what he's accomplished at being an empty suit with no real, substance.
And sure, we're covering Kim Kardashian, but at some point she's actually doing something. That's what he's saying.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, and she'd make a better president than Trump.
She would make a better president.
Well, she certainly would make a great running mate.
Yes. I would vote for her. I'd vote for her.
Yeah, actually,
really smart businesswoman.
Right. I mean,
she plays
there is part of that with Trump as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, the same people who say the media created Trump and by giving him all this coverage, they let him get ahead. These are people who look at that coverage and see Trump as self-evidently awful, and every extra minute that he talks, he seems worse.
So there's Josh Barrow excusing the horrible media coverage of Donald. Did you see that? Yeah, hey, don't worry if you guys cover him nonstop, unedited, non-fact checked, because those people who get upset about that don't like him anyway. So what the are you, what? Could you be a bigger pussy, Josh? Would you please, for once, say something of substance that takes a little guts to say to Chris Hayes right now? Would you push back a little and say, no, it's actually your network? Would you please say that?
I mean, the thing that needs to be pointed out is that the media profits off of Donald Trump. That's it. It's that simple.
We have a video out on this channel. Go look for it. Les Moonves was caught on audio giggling about all the money they're making off him. He says, yeah, Donald Trump's bad for the country, but he's great for CBS, baby. Keep going. He says it. There's another video on our channel. Check it out. And here they are all sitting. You think one of them would point the finger at the media. They got 3 people on. All of them agree. It's not us. It's not the media. Not us. It's the voter. Oh, the voters are a little. Let's see if there's any more to... That was kind of mind-blowing, Josh. Great job.
The coverage, if you looked at it objectively, if you showed somebody just the news segments and didn't show them the polls or anything, people would assume that this coverage was destroying him because it is...
You mean the coverage of his unedited speeches, non-fact-checked and live. If you watch that coverage... Literally an hour of television, nonstop, him giving his propaganda to the country. Literally an hour at a time, at a clip. MSNBC gives him free an hour. Go tell it, whatever you want to say, whatever crazy stuff you want to say it. And we're not going to fact check you because my show's over. You got to go to Rachel. Literally, they'll say, oh, if you look at that coverage, what the, this is...
The problem is these voters, they don't trust any institutions, including...
Again, the problem is the voters. They don't trust any institutions. It's the goddamn voters. I wonder why they don't trust the news media.
The media. So
and that's why fact-checking doesn't matter. Yeah, pointing out that he's lying doesn't matter.
Okay. So fact-checking doesn't matter. That's why we don't do any fact-checking.
That's why we don't really do any.
They don't really care about it. The citizens don't care about facts.
person pointing it out is not a trustworthy.
But there is also this way in which it's sort of like there is this kind of way that he's hacked a certain part of the competitive environment in which people need new things, and he creates new things all the time, and that creates attention. If the goal is to as cynically as possible manipulate attention, he has done that incredibly well. And I don't think the competitive news media has done any job of resisting that, even when editorially there's some part of them thinking they should.
To the point that
It's hard to resist money.
That was one smidgen of pointing the finger at the news media, because they don't resist the news cycle being taken over by something crazy Trump has said, which is what happens. So instead of talking about policies or the corruption of money in politics or the difference between Bernie Sanders and the rest of the people or the ideas that Bernie Sanders has and how affordable college for everyone is, free college tuition, instead of talking about that stuff, they're going to talk about Trump called Megyn Kelly a name. That's what he said. That's what people are upset about. And Chris Hayes is saying, well, maybe we should resist that a little. That's the only criticism he's launching at. Maybe we should resist giving Trump every news cycle instead of talking about other candidates and substance. Instead of doing that, we follow along the shiny nickel. It's a shiny object. Whatever Trump says, we're going to report, and that's going to be the news cycle. So that's the only time he pushed back on it. That's it. That was a little bit. Let's see if he has anything else. No, that was it.
Well, he used the phrase competitive news media?
Yes.
The word competitive there says a lot. To me, it means they're competitive for something, not for scoops or not for the truth or not who can dig the deepest and expose the biggest lies and find the best stories. It's who can get the highest ratings.
Ratings.
Who can get the best advertising.
Yeah,
income.
They're not competing
That's
for...
what they're competing for. They're competing
journalism.
for attention.
They're competing for ratings.
Yeah.
Well, they're competing for access to get the ratings and the money.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, Chris Hayes... That's great. Hey, is the media to blame? I brought on two people who don't think so. Let's talk about it.